everybody. So today we're going to be talking about 8.3, which is areas of circles. So we've talked about perimeters of circles and circumference, and we've talked about perimeters of composite figures. And today we're going to be talking about areas of circles. So make sure you have your math composition notebook out, ready to go, and that you are writing down everything that's on my screen. So to start, let's write the learning target, which is I will be able to find the area of a circle and a semicircle. Okay, so to start, let's get our formula down. So the formula for area of a circle is going to be pi times radius squared. Okay, and squared means to the power of 2. So how am I going to remember this? Well, let's think about it. We have circumference, right? Which is C equals pi times D, which stands for cherry pie is delicious. So we have cherry pie is delicious. And so to remember area, which is A equals pi r squared, we are going to say something like apple pies are 2. Okay, so we got to give apple pie some love too. We gave cherry pie some love, so now I got to give apple pie some love. So let's look at this. We got the A. A equals pi r squared. Okay, apple pies are 2. So circumference is cherry pie is delicious, and area of a circle is apple pies are 2. So those are some helpful ways to help you remember them. I still say them every single time I think of circumference or area of a circle. So get them in your brain. Okay, so now let's go through an example. So let's write down example 1, finding areas of circles. This says find the area of the circle, and it wants us to use 22/7 for pi. So we're going to look at this. So right now it gives us, well, from the center to the outskirts of the circle. So did they give us the diameter or the radius? Pick your answer. I hope you said they gave you the radius because remember, radius is half. Okay, so half the distance across the circle. So it's just from the center to a point on the circle. So they gave us the radius. And remember, area of a circle is, well, apple pies are 2. So it's A equals pi r squared. They want us to use 22/7 for pi. So I'm going to write 22/7 times my radius is 7 squared. Okay, so we always need to do the exponents first because if you think about PEMDAS, okay, well, first it's parentheses. There's nothing we can do in there. And then it's exponents, which is R2. So the first thing you need to do is you need to square 7 and get that answer. So in my calculator, in order to do that, remember that 7 squared is the same as 7 times 7, which is just going to equal 49. Or you can go in your calculator, 7 squared, or you can do 7 times 7. They'll get you the same answer either way. So that's going to leave me with 22/7. And then I'm going to have 49. And I'm going to write this as a fraction just so that it's easier to cross cancel. So in order to write a whole number as a fraction, I just put it over 1. Okay? So now I have 22/7 times 49/1. Well, lucky for us, I know 49 is a multiple of 7. So I can cross cancel these. Now, what could I divide both of these by? Hopefully you're thinking 7. So I could do 7 divided by 7. That gives me 1. 49 divided by 7 gives me 7. So that is going to leave me with 22 times 7 over 1 times 1. So I'm going to go in my calculator. 22 times 7, that just gives me 154 over 1, which I don't even need to include the over 1. So that gives me 154 units. Let's get our units. Centimeters, and for area, it's always centimeters squared. It's the unit squared. So the area of this circle is 154 centimeters squared. All right. Make sure you have this example down, and we're going to move to example 2. So for example 2, it wants us to find the area of a semicircle. So let's think about this. Well, if the area of a normal circle is A equals pi r squared because apple pies are 2, well, for a semicircle, what do we need to do to this equation if we only want the area of half the circle? What do we need to do to this equation? Hopefully you're thinking, we'll just divide it by 2, Miss Hayes. So I'm going to divide it by 2, okay, and that's going to give me the area of half the circle. So let's get our information. It says find the area of the semicircle orchestra pit. The area of the orchestra pit is 1/2 the area of a circle with a diameter of 30 feet. So they tell us that the diameter is 30 feet. So for our equation, notice we need the radius, not the diameter. So reminder, to find the radius, all you need to do is cut the diameter in half. So we're going to do 30 divided by 2, and that's going to give us 15 feet for the radius. So I know my radius is 15 feet. Now let's plug it in. For pi, I'm going to use 3.14. Radius is 15 squared over 2. So I just fill it into this equation. Then in my calculator, I'm going to go 3.14 parenthesis 15 end parenthesis squared. Okay, I get that. And then I'm going to divide it by 2. And that gives me 353.25 feet squared. Because remember, for area, we square units. Reminder, if you are having troubles calculating this, remember that you do need to do this first, okay? So you can always do that first in your calculator, 15 squared or 15 times 15. And then from there, multiply that with 3.14. And then once you get that answer, divide it by 2. Okay, so whatever helps you get it in your calculator, if you're struggling with the calculations, just break it down step by step. Okay, so that is the area of a semicircle. So those are the 2 things you're going to be doing in the assignment. Make sure that you are aware of whether they're giving you the diameter or the radius and that you're plugging in the right one. Okay, and remember, cherry pie is delicious and apple pies are too. Thank you for watching.